Welcome back, everybody. This is Artemis Brain Sample again, and today we're going to be delving into the mind of a genius, a certifiable, absolute genius. His way with words is as manipulating as it is creative, and you might recognize him from a video that oh God, what's his name? Greg did. Called Shock of God Awful Arguments. This is Shock of God presenting us with a question that only someone with a remedial understanding of grammar could possibly ask. So let's let him ask it and then we'll deal with the repercussions from it.
Hey everybody, as you know, we have been challenging people to provide proof and evidence that would show atheism is accurate and correct. No atheist has been able to do it. So we started with Richard Dawkins, he can't do it. We challenged Christopher Hitchens when he was alive, he never did it. We challenged the number one most subscribed to atheist on YouTube, the amazingly hellbound atheist. He couldn't do it. We challenged the Atheist Experience Show. They couldn't do it. Matt Dillahunty couldn't do it. Aaron Ra couldn't do it. He got it Aaron wrong. The Thunderfoot couldn't do it. No atheist has been able to do it. So we're going to talk about this video here. It's titled Shock of God, You Should Know Better. So people, atheists, are getting very angry that year after year they're failing and they cannot provide proof and evidence that would show atheism is accurate and correct. But first, I saw this video, it was made by an atheist making fun of the question, but I have to admit I liked it. And so we're going to play that for you real quick. I cracked up laughing. Atheists do not like the question. Here's the question. What proof and evidence can you provide that would prove that atheism is accurate and correct?
Now, we've just seen a definition of the word atheism, and it kind of begs the question, how do you describe a noun in such a way that it can be received as accurate or true?
They hate it. It's got them stumped, and this guy's going to talk about why he doesn't like the question. But first, let me show you how much the atheists hate it. They've made a video dedicated to me. Check it out. So, check it out. See in the background, that's supposed to be my motorcycle, but watch this. You got to admit, this is pretty funny.
Go from my village to my neighboring village, and nobody, not one single person could answer my question. It is such a beautiful question, so elegant, it shimmers like all the gold in El Dorado. My question is this: where is your proof and evidence that atheism is accurate and correct?
Isn't that good? I do like the scooter in the background, and I do like that he is exercising his Second Amendment rights. Now,
Because randomly shooting your guns in the air is a responsible use of firearms and a justification for the Second Amendment. I hope you enjoyed it, and no one was hurt in the process.
now let's get to the main video here. And we're going to talk about this video. This is an atheist, and he made this video, Shock of God, You Should Know Better. And I do know better. That's why I'm not an atheist.
No, Shock. Can I call you Shock? No, Shock, you don't understand. The problem is that you don't understand the rules of grammar, and you don't understand how that it's impossible for someone to describe a noun as true and accurate, or a thousand other things. Prove blue.
Christians know better than to believe in the crapola that is called atheism. I mean, when you really think about atheism, think about it. A worldview that says there's no purpose to life, and when you're dead, you're dead.
Hello, Strawman, my old friend. It's good to see you here again.
Where is the ingenuity and intelligence and truth of that? So we're going to go to another video. I'm going to play a short clip because he's going to talk about this. This is me calling into the radio show, challenging. There's like 4 or 5 atheists. I'm challenging them to provide proof and evidence that atheism is accurate and correct. I'm not going to play the whole thing because it's a long, video, but I'm going to put the link below the video you're watching now, and you can listen to my entire call or go to Multi-Archangel's website, and he's got it on his website. But let's go there right now, and then we're going to talk to you about why atheists hate this question. Okay, so we're at Multi-Archangel's YouTube channel, and I gave him permission to put this on his channel because mine gets attacked and false flagged all the time. Check out his video, Incredible Facts of the Bible. But let's go to Shock of God Calls into Atheist Radio Show. It's hilarious. Here we go. Okay, so this is a short clip. The whole clip is 9 minutes and 87 seconds of the atheist struggling to provide proof and evidence that would finally show atheism is accurate and correct.
Okay, I get it. He struggles with some pretty obvious stuff here, but 9 minutes and 87 seconds.
But you drive around and there's churches all over. More and more churches are being built. It doesn't seem like anyone's buying into, the crapola of atheism.
Seems to me that churches keep getting hit by lightning and burning to the ground. But I'm sorry, what was your point?
Most atheists, no offense to the kids out there, but most atheists are kids.
Excuse me.
You know that, don't you? Most atheists, are children. But when they put on their big boy pants, they become Christians. But listen to this. We're going to play a short little clip. It goes on for 9 minutes and I think it was 9 minutes and 37 seconds. 9 minutes and 37 seconds of the atheist running from the question. And finally, I just tell him, I go, you guys failed on live radio. Let's play a short clip.
So I think what Shock is claiming victory of here is that he has proven that there is not a human being alive that can answer a question as malformed as one like his. Seriously, show me what's true and accurate about blue or car or house. Or seriously, why don't you understand that there's a problem with the question? Why? I'm not asking you a question specifically related to yours. I'm asking you a question as a human being who's had a remedial education and grammar of the English language that we seem to share. Why are you struggling so hard with this notion that you're asking an impossibly malformed question because of your inability to understand grammar and how to use words good?
Without answering the question with the question, which atheists always tend to do when I ask the question, here's the question. Notice I just said it, and he goes, do we?
You got a Shock. When you ask a malformed question, it's, I don't know, is it the hill you die upon to ask a question like, what did you mean when you said that? Or, how are you using a word that you think it's possible to do what you just asked me to do with? Trying not to curse.
So here's the question. What proof or evidence can you guys provide that atheism is accurate and correct?
That's not a thing!
And let's see if you can do it without asking a question with the question. And then I'll tell you how you did.
That's a fair condition, I think.
I think so. Because there was no proof or evidence when I looked for it. That's why I left the humanist religion of atheism. But go ahead.
I meant for this to be a quickie video that lasted for 8 or 10 minutes, but what he gets into after this is just, it's probably worth a video of its own, but I don't have that kind of enthusiasm for what he has to say, so we're going to just bang it out like it's a fat chick on a Friday.
I'll listen.
Now, I'm going to put this video right here below, and you can listen to the whole thing. But I call up because these atheists, I feel sorry for atheists because they're really the bottom feeders of society. Everyone picks on them, everyone kicks them around because it's so easy to refute, and it's just, it's full of crapola. So let's get to the bottom line of the radio show, and then we're going to get right back to this other atheist that's talking, where this dude here, Shock of God, you should know better. Now, this is towards the end. They all start panicking. And again, I'll put the link right below this video. They all start panicking and they're arguing amongst themselves because they've never had to show arguments and rational thinking of why we should even believe that atheism is true, accurate, or correct.
So you still don't understand that the word is atheism. It is a noun. It cannot be described as true, accurate, or correct. It is a position, not a description of a claim. Why is this so hard for you? You talk about how you're not this kind of theist, you're that kind of theist, and you don't believe in that kind of God, you don't believe in this kind of God, but everybody that's a theist thinks the same damn thing, and that's just it's silly. It's one of those things that a grown-up wouldn't do if they were rational, reasonable, and thinking with a clear head.
Listen to this. We get them on live radio. It was awesome.
He's talking enough already.
Third time.
Rich.
By the way, that's me saying third time because I've asked them three times and they're running away like little rabbits into the bunny hole.
Rich, I have answered your question because you keep interrupting me.
Where's the proof? You didn't supply any proof. You failed miserably on live radio to provide any proof or evidence that atheism is accurate and correct.
And by the way, when you hear it, I didn't interrupt them. What happened is, you know how atheists just drone on for minutes at a time and they try to avoid the question. So I had to keep them focused without going off on a tangent. And that's why atheists on YouTube are angry at me, because we totally wrecked and destroyed atheism.
Oh yeah? Well, I proved that Jesus wasn't a Jew, that he was in fact a reptile, and he was born from an egg, and he had feathers like a bird, but he might have been called a dinosaur depending on which creationist you listen to, and he might...
Especially on this live call, it was awesome.
Where's the proof? You didn't supply any proof. You failed miserably on live radio to provide any proof or evidence that atheism is accurate and correct.
Now let's get to what this guy says here. So he's going to talk about how no atheist has been able to provide proof and evidence that would show atheism is accurate and correct. And there is a very serious weakness and flaw in atheism that I'm going to point out, and this is why it's so easy to defeat atheists in debate. I'm going to put, very humbly as I bow my head to the ground, I'm going to put, I'm being very humble here, well, not all of them, because we have like 30 or 40 of them. I'm going to put some really good debates that we did right below this video. You guys know Steve Shives on YouTube. He's a famous YouTube atheist.
Shock, I know you don't keep up with what the happenings of YouTube or reality, but Steve is nobody's authority on anything. He never was, and to claim that any atheist is an authority on atheism is just a claim of stupidity. It's like saying that you're the only one that's real. It's a little like, I think that what you think is different from what I think, so what you think is wrong, and what I think is right, and Steve Shives is evidence that the atheists are... Steve Shives isn't evidence of anything other than the fact that a woman can make a man say, do, and be stupid as hell.
Steve admitted that I defeated him in debate. And I brought up all these arguments for the existence of God, and he didn't bring up any arguments against the existence of God.
You may have noticed that Shock hasn't exactly provided an abundance of anything other than...
So when you're in debate, whoever has the best arguments and the most arguments...
that college logic class is really paying off. The one that has the best and the most. If I have the most arguments, I am probably a creationist who spews an endless line of crap, one after another, in such a way that you cannot refute them without asking questions like, "What?"
They win the debate. If you don't have any arguments on your side of the debate, you automatically lose. It's very...
Now, this is where you're probably wondering, well, is he going to justify this moronic question? Is he going to say something about the fact that he doesn't understand how to use grammar in the English language properly, and that he's going to admit that his question is remarkably well, it's not really a question, is it? It's just a thing that ends in a question mark. It's like the girl that lives in the valley.
Very similar to a football game or basketball game. When you're debating, if you're not going to take the field or you're not going to take the court, you're automatically just going to get run over and you're going to lose by default. And, you know, for those of you that are atheists watching this video, I used to be an atheist. But atheism is intellectually lazy and dishonest.
Here's the dilemma I think a lot of us are facing. Is he lying about the fact that he used to be an atheist? Or is he being honest about the fact that he used to be an atheist, but he was probably, if not certainly, the world's biggest atheist for the worst reasons? He went from questioning and having doubts to being a presuppositionalist. Is that a thing? What kind of an honest person, what kind of an intellectual endeavor is it for you to conclude that, well, I doubt everything, but now I'm going to presume everything about this particular piece of literature is a fact. And it's not so much that it's necessarily factual, it's that it's something that I'm going to build my life upon, and I'm going to preach to others, and I'm going to hold myself to a standard that doesn't apply to anyone or anything mentioned in the book that I'm basing my religion upon. You don't have any humility, you don't have any intellectual honesty. You keep talking about these debates that you win, but if any of them are like the one you're describing in this video, really? You think you won this? Based upon what standard? Somebody's lack of ability to answer your remarkably errant question, this profoundly malformed thing, that this abuse of the English language, somebody that can't answer that is somehow defeated by the question itself, and from that defeat, the Christian God is real? You can't define yourself as anything but a presuppositionalist. And if you try to, all you're doing is being absolutely dishonest, and if you claim otherwise, then you're just a liar. And you should have shame. You have no shame, sir.
And I'm going to show you in this video how atheism is actually very similar to dog poop on someone's front lawn. Here we go. Now, this guy's a nice guy. I'm not saying he's like dog poop. This guy's a nice guy. I'm amazed that he doesn't cuss through the whole thing. I can't find one atheist video out there where they don't have a potty mouth. But let's start with this. Okay, so this guy, I wish more atheists would do videos like this, because he's able to complete a video without dropping the F-bomb and everything. I mean, it's just so immature how people cuss so much. It's so like childish. But this guy doesn't do it. And so this is great. And I actually have really good hopes for this guy. This guy is Highwire, H-I-G-H, and then Wire. But he's going to admit here that the atheist cannot answer the question, what proof and evidence can you provide that proves atheism is accurate and correct? And let's listen how he does it.
Big shout out to Highwire, brother. You did your best. You tried. You were honest. You were one of the things that he says that our side can't be. Big thanks to you for inspiring him to make this video so that I could jump all over his version of the events. I apologize for not putting more of you into this video. You certainly earned the right, but most of my viewers only have an attention span of about 7 minutes, and the vast majority of them have already gone on to watch kitten videos and probably a poisoning the well video with a in it. But thank you all for watching. I apologize for the abrupt ending to this, but I'm about to lose my cool, and I kind of promised myself that I wasn't going to curse in this one, so I did it!
I want you to listen to his arguments, though. This isn't a personal attack on him, but he doesn't provide proof and evidence that atheism is accurate and correct either.
I'm about to end this, but I haven't given Highwire his due credit in any of this. Highwire is the guy he's actually trying to talk about here, but he spends an awful lot of time talking about himself and some other shit. Sorry. Fuck.
Speaking from the heart, I'm telling you exactly how I feel. And I've somehow managed to do this without swearing. I've somehow managed to do this while being ad-friendly still.
Cock, balls, God damn it, cunt, motherfucker, shit.